अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः अस्मत्परमगुरुभ्यो नमः अस्मत्सर्वगुरुभ्यो नमः श्रीकृष्णपरब्रह्मणे नमः श्रीलक्ष्मीनृसिंहपरब्रह्मणे नमः श्रीलक्ष्मी हयवदनपरब्रह्मणे नमः सर्वं श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु. Sorry for the delay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good, good. What we're going to do is continue with yesterday's talk. Let me show you the presentation. I'm a little bit slow today. Just a second. I'm just going to start the sharing. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, lecture 214.
Good, thank you. So, before even we start this lecture, I want to just let you know what K.S.V. Swami's Guru, Rangamahaguru, said about Shankara Bhashya and Ramanuja Bhashya. They were discussing these two, right? And Ramanuja Bhashya and Madhu Bhashya come on one side roughly. Even though they didn't mention about Madhu Bhashya, don't worry about it. They were discussing about the nature of Shankara Bhashya and Ramanuja Bhashya. And K.S.V. Swami asked Rangamahaguru, what do you think about this? Rangamahaguru said, Shankara Bhashya is like the flight of a bird to its target. That means he just flew right to the target. So what about Ramanuja Bhashya? Pipilika Patha. Pipilika is ant. The path of an ant. Step by step. Let me show you what I just pictorially drew this. Can you see my slide?
Yes.
Yeah. So the path of the bird is, there may be fluctuations here and there, but it goes straight to the target. And the ants go up the tree from the root and go towards the branches or wherever, right? It is very step by step. See, this particular analogy comes very handy, because when I was analyzing, that's what is happening actually.
Swami, your voice is breaking up.
Okay, then let me check if my internet is bad. I'll just check. Hold on. Good that you reminded me. I will. What is happening to my internet? Just a second. Oh, here it is. Network, Wi-Fi. My computer is slow. Maybe I have too many tabs open. I can sort of remove a few. I'll do that in a minute. It is slow. My computer is very slow. Okay, Wi-Fi is okay. Let me just remove my stuff. Okay, yeah, I'll just Safari. I can. Give me a second. Just a little bit clean up I have to do. It's not letting me even clean up. That's interesting. Maybe. Is it better now? Hello?
Yes, I think so.
Yes.
Okay, I quit some programs. Maybe it helped. I'll quit one more program just in case. That way. Okay, let's see if it works. So, what, coming back to this, the conversation between KSV and Rangamahaguru, this seems very interesting and it applies, you can even derive this while studying this Gita Bhashya. Okay, let me come back and let's get to where we started. Slideshow, friends. Okay, see, initially, yesterday, we did deal with, okay, this is Ramanuja Bhashya, but I will just come back to where we stopped yesterday. This is what, Bhoktaram Yajnatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhridam Sarvabhutanam Jnatva Mam Shanti Mrichati. This is what we finished according to who? According to Anandagiri, that is Shankaracharya's commentator. Anandagiri is supposed to have lived in the 13th century, maybe Vedanta Deshika's time, and I think he knew about Ramanuja's commentary, I think, because Ramanujacharya was earlier. Here, in Jnatva Mam, knowing me Narayana, right? The Narayana is, Mam Narayanam is in Shankara Bhashya itself. So, here, Yogadikritasya Tvampadartha Abhignasya Paramatmanam Pratyakttvena Janataha Muktihi Iti Siddham. This is what Anandagiri says. But even if you look at Shankara Bhashya here Mam Narayanam Jnatva Shantim Sarvasamsara Uparatim Richati Prapnoti. Even here, Shankaracharya doesn't go high speed. He says he will know Narayana, and once you know Narayana, he will get Shanti. How he gets Shanti? Is Shanti the highest state? Like how Aditya ji was asking, is it the highest state? We ask the same question, is it the highest state? Because it's unclear from the Shankara Bhashya. But it has to be, Shanti has to be the highest state, if you just assume, think about it. But we clearly cannot say. But only Anandagiri makes it clear that it has to be higher state, fine, but here the Tvampadartha is Jiva, and who attains Shanti, that is Jiva attains Shanti. How does he attain Shanti? He realizes that Ishvara, because Sarvaloka Maheshwaram is clear, that Narayanam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram is, this it all refers to Ishvara in a way. And because Nirguna Brahmatva is not explained here. So Nirguna Brahmatva is not even said, but they will jump. That is Anandagiri jumps and says that it has to be. So whatever Narayana is, who is the cause of everything, who is holding everything together, and he is the friend of everybody, and he is the recipient of all the yajnas, offerings, tapas and everything. He is the primary recipient. Such a person is Narayana. And the Jiva knows, Mam Jnatva means, how does he know? Pratyaktvena Janataha. Pratyaktva means he knows himself as Narayana. I am Narayana. Right? That is what he gets. But this is not indicated in the original Bhagavad-Gita statement. rather than it is not indicated even in Shankara Bhashya, but Anandagiri takes it far and says, okay, that's what it is. Why? Because Anandagiri understands Bhagavad Gita. Even Shankaracharya at the end, maybe in the 18th chapter somewhere, he mentions that, I don't even know if he mentions, the whole of Gita is about Tat Tvam Asi. The Tat is interesting. What do you call? Where does the Tat come? In the first 6 chapters, Tat comes, or second 6 chapter, Tvam comes, or the last 6 chapter is the clarification of Asi. I don't know about it. Okay, I'm not sure about it. I'm not going to assume that I know. Somewhere I have studied that the 18 chapters broken into 3 sets of 6 refer to Tat Tvam Asi. We'll figure that out later. So why am I saying this? Shankaracharya goes straight to the here and there he may have fluctuations. He goes into the according to the context, but he jumps to saying that at the end, the jiva, what he thinks as jiva, is also upadhi samvalita. And what is jiva essentially is Atman Brahman. That is upadhi samvalita. That is surrounded by upadhis, connected with upadhis of this body, mind, intellect. And that Ishvara is also upadhi samvalita. It is related to Maya. It is related to the universe. So it's at the universal, cosmic level. But what is underlying is that Atman. That's what they understand. Okay. We will deal with other issues. Oh, does Ramanujacharya agree with it? Finally, is the state Shankaracharya agreeing is same as Ramanuja's state? Let me ask you an open question now. This is a very interesting, important question everybody needs to know. How would you determine the goal of Ramanujacharya and the goal of Shankaracharya is same? For example, the Ramanujacharya says in Vaikuntha there is Nitya Kaikarya. You will eternally serve Narayana in Vaikuntha. Once a person gets moksha, that person that's what he does. And then in the Vaikuntha there are Nityas and Muktas. They're all here and constantly enjoying the wonderful company of each other and Brahman. They are not interested in the company of each other, but they completely enjoy the realization of Brahman. Okay. Then here comes Shankaracharya and he says Vaikuntha and other things are all on the way to the final realization of Nirguna Brahman, where the Maya goes away and all the samsara, the universe appearance will all go away, and even the idea of I was bound, I was there, it is all Maya. I was never bound. That is, I here refers to the Brahman who was never bound, and all these things are irrelevant. So that is the highest state for Shankaracharya. Now, comparing these two, I want you to answer this question. Can you determine whether Shankaracharya and Ramanujacharya refer to the same goal at all? Or these goals are so different? Think and let me know. I want you to think. Hope my question is clear. My question is clear, right?
See, according to Ramanuja or Vishishta Advaita, the jiva can never be part and parcel of the Brahman. It can only cling to the Brahman like a chain or a clasp, but it can never be part of Brahman. So how can the goal be the same?
Okay, I want somebody else to also think. I note down what you say now. I'm just not going to comment right now. I want others to tell me what they think.
But what I feel is it's the same thing they are reaching. One more thing I want to tell. According to Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya and Ramanujacharya, Sriranga Mahaguru once mentioned that all principles were based off Shankaracharya on one-legged stool, and Ramanujacharya is three-legged stool, and Madhvacharya is two-legged stool to climb
Yes, I remember that. I remember that. Okay. I have noted down what you said. I want others to think and tell me what they think.
The goal seems to be the same, only the paths differ. One goes by the jnana path and one goes by the bhakti path, but then the goal seems to be the same for both.
That's true.
Okay. And what else? Any other thoughts? Sudarshan ji, you are becoming a visitor now. Tell me what you feel.
Gee, I think it's if I think about like what I was told about the Shankaracharya's path from a Vyavaharika perspective, everything that Ramanujacharya says, it is accepted. And as a result, it is in there, like from a Vyavaharika level, the goal is completely accepted. And but if from a Paramarthika level, Nirguna Brahma comes in. So that is my understanding. So there is no refuting of Ramanujacharya at any time, the way that I was taught from a Vyavaharika perspective.
Very good. Okay. Noted. Anybody else?
As long as there is any kind of duality, then it is not the final or ultimate for Shankaracharya.
Correct.
If we define Vaikuntha and all those things by those very definitions that you mentioned, Swami, or other things, for example, having similar features like Narayan and all those things, they imply duality very clearly, right? So by
True.
that definition, it doesn't seem that they are saying the same goal. But then there seems to be another definition of Vaikuntha, which is not limitation, right? That you
True.
have mentioned in your classes yourself.
Yes.
So if we understand what Vaikuntha is, how that works, then we might think differently. But on the face value, what Shankaracharya is saying, that if there is any duality, that is not the ultimate.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard everybody. And any other thoughts at this point? Different from what the others are saying. If you are agreeing with others, don't say anything. But if you don't agree with others, let me know what your thoughts are. Okay. If not, I'm just going to add a couple of points. I'm not saying anyone is wrong or in the wrong. They don't have any wrong understanding. But what is going to happen is we are using text at this point, right? We are using our speech, mind, thoughts, and text. All we are able to do in our classes or anybody's class for that matter, any acharya and any shishya, unless that acharya is Parabrahma himself, they're still dealing with speech. Somebody is saying some speech, they are studying Vedas, which is speech. What is the final? When will you find out what these paths are and where they are? You have to go beyond Shravana and Manana, come to Nididhyasana. Not only Nididhyasana, you have to go up in the levels of Nididhyasana to all the aspects of yoga in whatever way it is explained, whether it is in the Upanishads or in the Bhagavad-Gita, and finally realize and then know. Because speech, thoughts, shastras, words, they can be interpreted in different way. Let me add a couple of more points here. In the Avibhagena Drishtatvat Sutra, please check Ramanuja Bhashya. He says that does Jiva experience Brahman as if Jiva and Brahman are two different things? Like suppose you go to a zoo and you see a lion. There is a separation. Lion is inside a cage and you are outside and you are looking at lion. So that lion is an object and you are seeing, oh, lion is like this, lion is moving around, lion is eating up something. Do you see Brahman when you get to the highest level in that way or in some other way? What Ramanujacharya, in that sutra, Ramanujacharya says, Purva Paksha for him. Purva Paksha is, oh, he is just saying like how we go to a zoo and look at a lion. That means outside. Oh, he is sitting somewhere in a throne somewhere out there, and you are entering Vaikuntha, and you are looking and say, oh, that is Brahman. That is Purva Paksha for Ramanujacharya. Then he says, no, that is not right. He sees as himself, Aham Brahmasmityeva Anubhavati. There. He says that. Please refer. Check it out. So in Anubhava, he says, I have become Brahman. And that is where even we have talked about this Nammayava Spashurams, Ahame Vedakam Sarvam, Aham Suryascha, all the Rishi Vamadeva's experience. I have become that. Kind of an experience comes to each of these great rishis and realized people. So, Avibhagena drashtatvat aham brahmasmityeva anubhavati, Ramanujacharya says. What does it really mean? To be honest with you, I feel like, my view is very simple. Says that textbook analysis, Shastras, all this will take you only one step. If it is not continued with Nididhyasana and Anubhava, one cannot understand. You can keep on arguing about it for million years. You will not be able to solve it. Because I will quote one portion of the Shankara Bhashya from somewhere, and you will quote one portion of the other two Bhashyas, Ramanujacharya and Madhvacharya, somewhere else. Here comes Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, and they will quote something else, saying that moksha itself is useless. Moksha is lower. The Madhurya Bhava, the love between Krishna Radha, that's how the jivas have to experience Krishna. This comes higher for them. These are all personal takes on it. Based on different parts of the Shastras we can access. I will take one statement, they will take a Bhagavatam statement, somebody else will take a Rudra statement from Shvetashvatara and say, oh, that is about Rudra. We can talk. How do we determine? The determination comes only by experience. Any counter on this? What do you think? Do you think this is reasonable or not?
There is this statement, Ekam Sat Vipraha Bahuda Vadanti. So the goal has to be.
Exactly. Yes. So the
goal has to be the. But as KSV says, these are all different anubhavas at different stages also. That also has to be taken into account.
True. That is true. That is why Prahlada also Matta Sarvam, Mayi Sarvam and all he explained, right? Experience is too complicated. Even a low-level yogi, right? A low-level yogi cannot transfer his experience or explain this experience to others. We have already talked about this. I take a special kind of sugar somewhere. It was manufactured in Mandya with a new process, right? Which you don't know about. And I taste it. And somebody says that, oh, does it taste like sugar? No, exactly. It doesn't taste like sugar. Something different. I can keep on talking to you for 3 hours, but you will not be able to get my experience of the sugar. Because experience is non-transmittable through words. So what are we doing in our class? Studying the literature. That's the best you can do. Unless you meet a yogi teacher who will come and touch your head like how Ramakrishna Paramahamsa touched Vivekananda and transmit experience. Unless you find such a guru, no other choice. Well, we don't need to talk much. We already know the answer, but we'll go to the class now, okay?
They might not even touch.
Yes. Experience will tell you finally. Okay. So the thing is, this is what we finished. Tvam Padarth. Why am I saying this? Is Anandagiri's view, Tvam padartha avijnasya paramatmanam pratyakttvena jnanatoha muktihi. Pratyakttvena jnanataha. That means he knows Narayana as myself. Pratyaktva is what? Inward. Going inward. Oh, he is sitting right here. I am, oh, this is Narayana here. It's right here. So what we call is Ishvara, Bhuktaram, Yajnatapasam, Sarvalokamaheshwaram, Suhradam, Sarvabhutanam, Gyatva Mam Shantim Rachati. Oh, he is giver of everything. He is receiver of all yajnas. He is the Lord of all the worlds, all the lokas. Sarvalokamaheshwaram. And he is a friend. But he is sitting right here. And Pratyakttvena Janataha. Oh, I know it as myself. This is what, and Ramanuja.org doesn't disagree there. Oh, Ahame Vedakam Sarvam comes up there. So, but Ramanuja.org does not talk about it at this point. He says, as I told you in the first the ant method of approach and the bird method of approach. These are the two approaches here. Okay, now let's go further. Now yesterday we stopped here and we wanted to talk about what is this Narayana according to Shankaracharya.
I have a question. That means Ramanuja's path takes a longer time to reach Ishvara than Shankara's path.
It all depends on the capability. If the bird is injured or if the bird's wings are not working, the bird will never get there.
And I was told that most often people don't even know that they have wings, Ji.
Because the path, see, you and I are here, right? It doesn't matter whether you follow Shankara path, Ramanuja path or something. Shankaracharya assumes Sparshan Kristva Bahit Bhashyan Chakshushay Vantare Dhruvoho Pranapano Samakruta. See, what does he say? When you have perfect control of your mind, when there is objects are not coming into your mind and you're steady, he is muktayavataha, he is already has got moksha, nothing stops him from getting moksha. But can you get to that state?
It's like the hare and the tortoise. That is.
Yeah, see, one thing though, there is no point. See, we are assuming, oh, I was born in this particular kula, the family, my grandfather wore Tiruman, I am wearing Tiruman, he used to go to Krishna temple, I will go to Krishna temple. Somebody says that I was born in as a Palghat Iyer, and then Shankaracharya was the key figure in those areas, and there we went to this Shiva temple there or whatever temple, right? See, we accept our system just based on our lineage most of the time.
Right? There is one more saying that Gachati Pipelika Pankti Sagaram api Gachati Agachan Vainateyopi Padam Ekam na Gachati.
Na Gachati, very nice Sanskrit verse. That means an ant can travel all the way to the ocean, miles.
The bird may not mind at all to fly.
Yeah.
That is there.
The Vainateya means the very powerful Garuda. He himself, if he cannot go, if something happens, he cannot even fly. In fact, there is a Vedic episode. It seems that Vainateya, Garuda, who is a Nityamukta, that means he is always in Vaikuntha or something. He came down for some reason. He had a birth, and he made a big mistake of doing Bhagavata Aparadha. Bhagavata Aparadha means he insulted some devotees of Narayana. So he was punished by a curse, and his whole strength went away, and he couldn't do anything. So at the end, our paths are also determined by the Antaryami Parabrahman who can guide us. That's one thing. So comparing these two paths doesn't mean anything.
One more point to be noticed is the nature of an ant is it will definitely go. But the nature of the bird is if it want it goes. If it doesn't want it, it will not move at all.
It will not move at all. That is true too. Yes. Yeah. So with this, let us understand who is Narayana for these two, particularly Shankara Bhashya. We are only studying Shankara Bhashya, 6th chapter. I am taking it a little slow because all of us have to refocus about how Shankaracharya thinks. Okay? And the more and more you read, it is just a style of approach for these acharyas, and it will be interesting for us to look at this in this way. In fact, very interesting. Sudarshan ji, I asked Sudarshan ji, please give me Paramatmananda's lectures, and he sent it over. Okay, because somebody, a new member asked, how should I go? And that person comes from Palghat. Person is the Palghat Iyer kind of family, and suddenly that person wants to learn. And then what I did was, okay, you are from Palghat family, are you familiar with Shankara Bhashya? Why don't you take up Paramatmananda's lectures? And because Paramatmananda mainly focuses on Shankara Bhashya, not too much of diversion, you will like it, right? So the thing is, the person went and the person is a doctor or something, advanced technology kind of person, whatever. They went and looked at and said that, look, I also want to figure out why Shankaracharya thinks in this way and what the other acharyas think and what are the pros and cons, because otherwise I won't be able to decide. I'm already a doctor, more than 40 plus years or something. I want to look at different types of things before I get to the final thing. So the person is following these lectures apparently. I don't know how may change after a few months or whatever it is. But that was interesting because recently it happened. Some people want to think and understand different views and then go to this. And some people just want to stick to one Bhashya and go with it. Both are fine actually. Now, Anandagiri's comment, Narayana, wait a minute, what did we do with, okay, something happened here, that's not the one. Let's go back 1 second. Okay, I want to just give a quick view of what does Ramanuja Bhashya says about these two shlokas, Sparshan Kritva Bahirbhakyan Chakshuche Vantaro Dhruvoham. See, the method of focus is same for both, right? You are sitting in a yoga posture and controlling your breath, and then I don't want to go into detail because we already had this detailed explanation earlier, long time back. So Vigata Ichcha Vayo Krodaha, controlling mind and senses, there is no fear or desire or something like that, and Mokshaika Parayanaha. Here Ramanujacharya says Atma Avalokana Shilaha. At this level, he hasn't even seen who he is. He's beginning to understand what Atma is Jivatma here. The individual self who is concrete and different for Ramanujacharya. It's a concrete entity, right? Yaha sada mukta eva saha. And that is the entity which gives the I feeling that, oh, I am different, you are different kind of feeling. So, but the person is trying to figure out who am I at this point. So, if that person's mind and senses are controlled, sadhya dashayam eva sadhana dashayam api mukta eva. Even while practicing yoga, he is basically has moksha. Here, the moksha doesn't mean the final moksha. The moksha means he does not have the bondage like others. I in particular, I cannot focus on anything. I'm always stuck with ups and downs of life. I'm always stuck with desire, anger, and all these problems. So compared to me, that person is released because he doesn't have my limitations. So Ramanujacharya takes word moksha in each stage differently. Uktasya nityanaimittika karmeti kartavyata karmayogasya yoga shiraskasya sushakatam aha. So he goes in a slightly different path. So he is still going through Jivatma Sakshatkara. We have to first figure out what Jivatma is. Okay. Then but these two shlokas, he's in one paragraph he explains both shlokas here. That's what it is. That's why it's repeating here. Okay. And then finally Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam. Uktasya Nityanaimittika karma itika. See, for Ramanujacharya, you cannot give up karma. Vaidika karma has to be done. Right? So Nityanaimittika karma iti kartavyata kasya karma yogasya yoga shiraskasya sushakatamaha. So the thing is, he says, it is easy for this, even though he is doing karma yoga, it will be easier. What is that? Yajñatapasam bhoktaram sarvalokameshwaram sarvabhutanam suhridam mam gyatva shantimrichati. Because he knows me. So it is sarvalokameshwaram sarvesham lokeshwaranam api ishwaram Ishwaram Tamishwaranam Paramam Maheshwaram. That is the Shvetashvetara verse he quotes. So the highest Lord of everything. Iti Shishruyate Mam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Sarvasuhurdam, knowing that I am the friend of everybody. I am the Lord of all the lokas. Jnatva, knowing Madaradana Rupaha Karma Yoga iti. All the karmas prescribed in the Shastras are only a worship, a form of worship of that Narayana. It is sukhena tatra pravartate. Oh, I am not doing something very, very against dharma. I am all the stuff, whether I am doing this kind of karma yoga, pranapana kind of karma yoga, or some other, that is breath control, or pranayama control, whatever, or a yajna type of karma yoga, it doesn't matter. Because in the Evam Bahuvida Yajnaha, different kinds of yajnas are there. They are all forms of karma yoga. But they have one thing in common. They are forms of worship of the same Narayana, who is the one ruler of the entire universe. So he is not confused. Sukhena tatra pravartate. Okay, he is a friend, he will help me. However I do it, he will help me. Wherever I am, he will help me. And everything is only worship of that one Lord. So with this, he is happy to continue with his, sadhana. That is the way Ramanujacharya understands this here, right? Shankara Bhashya, Mam Narayana Jnata, only he says. Here Shankaracharya does not jump into, oh, Pratyakstvena, I know Narayana as myself, Narayana as, he doesn't say that. Shankara Bhashya says, oh, Sarva Pratyakshaya Sakshinam, all experiences are seen with this, by this only one witness Narayana. And knowing him, all the Shantim Sarva Samsara all the universe will die away. It will sublate into nothing. And I will be peaceful. So even though Shankaracharya mentions that Narayana will finally lead, all these things will lead to the final goal, he doesn't mention how it is done. Anandagiri takes it further, saying that no, that final goal or Brahman as yourself. That's what Anandagiri takes one step further. Okay. Now we have covered everything. Now we'll come back to Narayana Parovyakta Parovyakta Andam Avyakta Bhambavam Andasyantasya me lokaha saptadvipacha medini. This is the verse from Shankara Bhashya. Okay. But Anandagiri gives his own views. He says, look, Nara means the gross view is resting on the cosmic waters, just like how the pictorial view is given in the Puranas. Then he takes the subtle, Nara refers to all beings, jivas. Narayana is the inner ruler, Antaryami, the support and controller of all jiva. Right? Then,
Swami, question.
Uh-huh.
Swami, Mam Narayana, what does that mean? No, me Narayana, is it?
Krishna is talking to Arjuna, right?
So both Shankaracharya and Ramanujacharya both take me as Krishna only, is it?
True. Yes, definitely.
Okay.
And that is why I want to explain what this first Narayana. See, this verse comes in the very first verse of the Shankara Bhashya and the Gita. The one verse I mentioned, right? This verse. Narayana Parovyaktat Andam Avyakta Sambhavam. This verse comes at the very beginning of the Shankara Bhashya, starts with Narayana. And who is this Narayana? He himself will explain. And that's what we are going through now.
Basically, because of that mention of the word Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, Shankara has to take this Saguna Brahman only.
Now let us wait and see. Let us read his Vyakhyana here. Okay? So I'm just reading the Anandagiri view here. Let me see if I can bring back his view, Shankara's view directly. Fine. But here, Vedantic view, he says, Nara refers to living beings and Narayana is the Antaryami of support and controller of all jivas. That's one thing. And then he says, how can the attributeless Brahman be creator or ruler? See how Anandagiri takes it. Because Sarvaloka Maheshwaram is the creator and also ruler. And how can he be, he is attributeless, nirguna. So absolute reality, in reality the supreme para is beyond unmanifest. Parovyaktat, that means he is untouched by Maya. Avyakta is Maya. Avyakta is also, according to Samkhya theory, Avyakta is the cause of the Prakriti. The root of Prakriti comes from Avyakta, right? So that is Maya, and his Maya doesn't touch him. So relative reality, through the superimposition of Maya, he appears as the creator. So this Narayana truly is not the creator. Narayana is the underlying Brahman, Atman. But he appears to all of us as the creator and ruler, because all this Vyavaharika universe, which includes creation, creator, the process of creation and maintenance, and dissolution, all of them are relative. It's only apparent to us. This allows him to be the subject of the scripture. That is why scriptures refer to that one Atman, that is Narayana. One. Okay. The sequence of creation. Now it goes, the root cause is Narayana. Avyakta is unmanifest Maya. The Maya doesn't exist from his perspective, because Nirguna Brahman does not see Maya. But we have this picture of Narayana as the creator. Andam is the Hiranyagarbha, the first, because he goes back to the Puranic view that Hiranyagarbha, what do you call, Hiranyagarbha, when Anda came, and there are so many statements about Hiranyagarbha. The subtle cosmic soul matrix of elements, so he is the combined combination of all jivas, kind of thing. Then the Virat, the worlds, the universes, the gross universes came forth, and the earth, Sapta Divipa Medini, that means the earth with 7 islands came forth. And he says, very Anubandha Chatushtaya, that is Anandagiri says, you need 4 things you need to know. What is the matter? The oneness of Jiva, Tvapada and Brahman, Tatpada, derived from the word Narayana. Okay? Narayana means oneness. That is the one Atman. Goal is Prayojana, Moksha, defined as removal of evil Maya. So if Maya goes away, what stays? You also go away. And what remains is that Narayana only. And attainment of bliss indicated by beyond the unmanifest. That is Paro Avyaktat. Right? Student, Adhikari, the seeker who desires this moksha. Connection, Sambandha, the link between the text and this knowledge. So that Narayana, the word Narayana itself talks about all these things according to Anandagiri. Okay? Okay, wait a minute. There's just 1 second. I forgot one thing here. I want to bring that. One of these difficult weekends for me. Okay, let me do one thing. Just I'm going to end show. I am going to just a second. What happened? This is the tough part. I don't even know how to get out here. 1 second. I have to somehow stop share. I'm stopping share. I'm going back to Shankara Bhashya. Oh, I have to come back to this. Because I closed the whole window, everything went away. I don't have the Shankara Bhashya here. 1 second. Okay, I'll just go by Advaita Sharda.net. You can hear me, right? Hello?
Yes, we can. Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. I thought I had shut off the whole Zoom or something. Hold on. Um, I'll share once I get to that level. Okay, here. I'll come back here and start sharing. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. See, Narayana, this is Shankara Bhashya. Narayana Parovyakta, Andam Avyakta Sambhavam, Andasyanta Sime Lokaha Saptadvipa Chamedini. Okay. See, Shankaracharya says, Sa Bhagavan Srishtvedam Jagate, after creating this universe, Tasya Sthitim Chikirshuhu, to make sure how to protect everybody. Marichadina, Agre Srishtva Prajapatin, he created Marichi and other Prajapatis. Pravritti Lakshanam Dharmam Grahayamasa Vedoktam. So in Yajna, Yaga, Pravritti Lakshana and everything was started by that Narayana. Tato Anyansha Sanaka Sanandanadin Utpadya. Then he also created these rishis who are like Sanaka, Sanandana. Nivritti Lakshana Dharma Margam. So how to get out of this mess and go back to Parabrahman? Nivritti Lakshana. They tried to teach Nivritti Lakshana. Jnana, Vairagya Lakshanam Grahayamasa. Dvivido hi Vedokto Dharmaha. That means there are only two methods. Pravritti Lakshana, Nivritti Lakshana. Jagataha Sthiti Karanam. That's how the universe is going further. Praninam Sakshad Abhyudaya Nishreyata Hetur Yaha Sadharmaha. So the thing is, Abhyudaya Nishreyasa, that means the best path for everybody. That is Dharmaha Brahmanadyehi Varni Bihi Ashrami Bishcha Shreyorthi Bihi Anushchiyamano Dirghena Kalena. So people like Brahmana and Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra and all the other people, right? And ashramis like Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Sannyasa, Vanaprastha and all these ashramas, people with different natures, they all do this Vaidika karmas and eventually they go to the higher levels. Shreyas Marga. Anushtatrunam kamodbhavat hiyamana viveka vijnana hetukena adharmena abhibhuyamane dharme. So thing is, if people don't follow this dharma path, they will go to adharma. Then the desires will become high and adharma will increase. And when such things happen, pravardhamane cha dharmane jagatah sitim paripalayishuhu, so that to protect the nature of the universe, protect the well-being of the universe, saha adikarta narayana kyo vishnu, that Narayana, who is the creator, the first creator of everything, Vishnu, he is same as Vishnu, Bhaumasya, Brahmanaha, Brahmanatvasya, Rakshanartham, to protect the dharmic Brahmanic way. Here the Brahmanic, it doesn't matter, it is not like Varna. Brahmana means Brahman himself. And this Brahmana, the true Brahman is Brahmanatva, means that which takes you to Brahman and make you realize, right? Rakshanartham, that means to protect the path, to protect the methodology, protect everything which can take you to realization of that Narayana. Devakyam Vasudevam Shena. So he, as Vasudeva, which is a small part of himself, that is, Narayana is the all encompassing, all pervading, all capable, eternal Atman. But he came as Vasudeva, which is a part, Amshena, in Devaki, with Devaki as his mother. He, Krishna Kila Sambhabhuva, that great Krishna, well-known Krishna, who does not need introduction, he came to this world. Brahmanatvasya hi rakshane rakshitaha syat vaidiko dharmaha tadadhinatvat varnashrama bhedanam. Once the Brahmanatva is protected, Vaidika dharma, particularly Brahma Jnana, particularly Upasana and all this Vidya, if that is protected, the rest like Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, supporting other things, all these activities will be protected, because at the end we should focus on spiritual realization. The material realization will automatically fall in place. Material comforts and material progress will come in, that is, will fall in place. If it is reversed and spiritual realization is given low priority, the whole world will go like how it is going now, fighting for oil, fighting for control, fighting for superiority, and people die, and it's all going out of control. Maybe a second Krishna is waiting somewhere to be reborn to take care of the problems today. I wanted to give this because you have to understand in your mind what is Narayana for Shankaracharya. Narayana here is Parabrahman, Atma only, Brahman, Nirguna Brahman only. Think about it. Please understand that for even though Srishti happens, production happens, and all that, they're all secondary. Even see how consistent Shankara Bhashya is. In the Brahma Sutras, what is the first sutra? Athato Brahma Jignasa. Right? And who is this Brahman? He says Janmadyasya Yataha. That means that Brahman who is responsible for creation, protection and dissolution. Right? That means this is Ishvara only. If it is Ishvara, what is the point of this Brahma Sutra, to study only Ishvara? What is the true is Sat. That is the underlying Brahman. Nirguna is the true goal. So that is why the creation, protection and dissolution is known as Tatastha Lakshanas in the Advaita. Tatastha means it refers to the Ishvara. Ishvara is not really the Brahman. Ishvara is the appearance of Brahman. And who is the Brahman? That Brahman is unspeakable, because I cannot denote who this Brahman who is everywhere, because he is subject only. I cannot show him as an object. That is why I am using Ishvara to refer to him. Like the Shakagre Chandraha Vartate. Oh, you look at this tree and the branch, and behind this branch is the moon. I am explaining the tree more than the moon, because I cannot explain moon, because Brahman is inexplicable. He is beyond all attributes.
Swami, but here Shankaracharya is saying just the opposite of what you're just saying, right? In the next line, he is clearly saying that the Bhagavan is always endowed with qualities, which
See, yes, what it is
and he's saying Sada Sampanna, always.
true. Kala is also Maya, right?
I know how he reconciles his views. I'm just saying that
Okay, why don't we go further? I want to read Shankara Bhashya directly. Okay, your point is well taken. Okay, yes. So far, he is only explaining the Saguna Brahma, right? Agreed? I agree. Now,
Yes.
Adhikarta, Paripalana, who else can do? And this Narayana is referring to Vishnu also, and even Narayana Vishnu is all referring to Saguna Brahman here so far. Nice point. Let's go further. Sacha Bhagavan Jnana Aishwarya Shakti Bala Virya Tejobhihi Sada Sampannaha Trigunatmikam Swam Mayam Mula Prakritim Vashikritya. Such a Bhagavan who is always endowed with the six Bhagas. Bhaga is Jnana Aishwarya Shakti Bala Virya Tejo. Six. This is common to Shankaracharya, Ramanuja.org and all, right? Sada Sampannaha, always endowed with it. Trigunatmikam Swam Mayam, the Maya itself is his own. Mula Prakritim Vashikritya, he has everything under control. Ajo, Avyayaha, he is Aja, that means never born. Avyayaha, that means never changes. Bhutanam Ishvaro, he is the Ishvara of all beings. Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta, Swabhavopi San, even though he is eternal, pure, and knowledgeable, and always free, Swamayaya, by using his powers of Maya, Dehavaniva, as if he has a body. Jataha ihacha lokanugraham kurvan lakshate. Oh no, he is as if he has a body. He has come like Krishna, as if, and he is also helping out everybody, and he is blessing everybody. Swaprayojana bhavepi bhutanu jijikrakshaya Vaidikam dharmadvayam arjunaya shoka moha महोददौ निमग्नाय उपदिदेश गुणादिकैर्हि गृहीतो अनुष्ठीयमानश्च धर्मः प्रचयं गमिष्यति इति तं धर्मं भगवता यथोपदिष्टं वेदव्यासः सर्वज्ञो भगवान् गीताख्यैः सप्तभिः श्लोकशतैः उपनिबबन्ध. See, so far it is only about how Krishna is talking about Gita, right? And the trick and the hidden thing is ajaha abjayaha. He is never born, but he is born as Krishna because he appears to be born as Krishna. Because appears means what? It may be concrete. Yeah, I was there while Devaki and Kamsa and all these people were there. Suppose I was born there at that time. I can directly visualize Krishna like how Duryodhana also saw Krishna, right? Oh, he's right there. But really speaking, this is only appearance to our indriyas. What is true is Aja Abjaya Bhutanam Ishvara Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swabhavaha. That means that is the true Atman. He is hiding. Shankaracharya is hiding here because he is explaining only what is in the relative world of this. And the okay, here look at this. This is Tadidam Gita Shastram Samasta Vedartha Sara Sangraha Bhutam Durvignayartham. Though it is the essence of all Vedanta. Tadartha Avishkaranaya. It's very difficult to understand and to explain. And so many people have given opposite views and different views. Laukikaihi Grihyamanam, and ordinary people cannot understand. Shankaracharya says, Vivekataha, using intelligence, I will determine the correct meanings of Gita. Sankhepataha vivaranam karishyami. I will give a summary of Gita, not details, summary. That's what he says. Tasya, go further. Tasya asya Gita shastrasya sankhepataha prayojanam param nishreyasam sahetukasya samsarasya atyanta uparama lakshanam. Look at what is that. What is the essence of the Gita? Sankhepataha prayojanam. What is the value of Gita? By studying Gita, what do you get? Param nishreyasam, ultimate goal. What does it mean? Sahetukasya samsarasya. With all the causes, the root of everything, the samsara, atyanta uparama lakshanam, all this samsara experience have to dissolve completely, sublate, as if it never existed. That's the goal of studying and understanding Gita. And that tacha sarva karma sannyasa purvaka atma jnana nishta rupat dharmat bhavati. So, giving up all the karmas and taking up sannyasa completely in every mind, body and intellect, you have to be sannyasi. Then with atma jnana nishta, that dharma will get you there. Tatha imameva gita-artham dharma muddishya bhagavataiva uktam sahi dharma suparyasa brahmanah paravedane iti anugitaso tatraiva choktam naiva dharmi cha adharmi cha naiva chaiva hi shubhashubhi. It goes on and on and on. And the Sarvadharman Parityaja is mentioned right here. Okay. So the thing is, there also, Sarvadharman Parityaja refers to Nirguna Brahman eventually. So, Nirguna Brahman is indicated here with the Shuddha Mukta, Buddha Mukta, right? And Sarva Samsara Upariti is a giveaway. What is the goal there? The universe experience, including Ishvara and everything like that, has to go away. That's what it is. So obviously Shankaracharya also hides the Nirguna aspect in the beginning. But when you go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, he explains it properly. Because you cannot, see, this is the whole idea of, now you talk about the, what is that, what is that? I'm forgetting the Funda Advaita theory, not Apacheda. Aropa Adhyasa, Apavada. Aropa Apavadavada, right? You hear,
Adhyaropapavada.
huh?
Adhyaropapavada.
Adhyaropa Apavada, correct. Adhyaropa. So there is this Adhyasa, and this Adhyasa should go away. In Adhyasa, only because of Adhyasa, you see Ishvara, creation, all of us messed up here, everything. And everything should go away. Apavada comes later. And then he establishes the idea of Nirguna Brahman. Is that clear?
Yeah, but all I was saying is, Swami, in that first line, he is very clearly saying that Brahman is endowed with all the qualities,
True.
and
See, there is commonality between all acharyas here. But at the end, in Ramanuja Bhashya, you will never see this sentence. Sahetukasya samsarasya atyanta uparama lakshanam. He never says that. That is, the entire universe of every creation, everything will go away. That is the goal.
See, I want to understand this much. There is a commonality as long as Shankara talks about the Saguna aspect of Brahman. But it's, for him, Brahman is beyond Narayana, whereas for Ramanuja, Brahman stopped with Narayana is Brahman. Am I right in that?
Not necessarily. See, Narayana term is used by Shankaracharya also to refer to Nirguna Brahman. Here in this context, he uses Narayana as Saguna Brahman. That's all.
Okay, thank you.
Eventually, Narayana can mean Vasudeva and Nirguna Brahman for him. And even the word Vasudeva, he says here Vasudeva is the name of Krishna, right? But in the Bhagavad Gita, when it comes to where does he bring the word Vasudeva? Yoginam, in the end of the 6th chapter, Yoginam api sarvesham madgat enantaratmanam Shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yuktatamo mataha. There, Rudra Aditya Paranam Yoginam, he says, among Rudras and Adityas and so many other, that is, deity worshippers and yogis, who worship me, Antaryami Vasudeva, he is the highest. There, the word Vasudeva does not mean Narayana. There, Vasudeva does not even mean Krishna. There, Vasudeva means the single Atman, which is the Atman of everyone. Shankaracharya uses the term carefully, differently. That is why in the 5th chapter, Narayana here only means Ishvara mainly. But Shankaracharya doesn't go further, but Anandagiri goes further, and at the end it's anyway same. Alright. Anyway, today, let us stop here. It's about 8 o'clock. Today I want to take up the 6th chapter as said by Shankaracharya only after the introduction I have given so far. I hope this introduction at least orients you toward the subject matter at this point. Of course, we will have difference of opinions, and the way Shankaracharya treats some words here and there would be different, and that happens to all acharyas. For Ramanujacharya, the Brahma Pada itself is Jiva in many places.
But this 5.29 verse where Shankara refers to Narayana as the Jaya Vastu, that is the necessity for Samyak Darshana, right? Whatever Advaita is talking about, Samyak Darshana.
Yeah. Samyak Darshana for him is Karma Yoga is the the means to Samyak Darshana, right? When you get Karma Yoga and Ishvara Aradhana Rupa, right? So Karma Yoga is Ishvara Aradhana Rupa only. And there, here, what is the purpose of seeing Narayana here, right? Bhoktaram Jagditapasam Sarva Pratyakshe Sakshanam Mam Narayanam Jnatva Shantim Sarva Samsaro Paratim Richati. See, look at what this is. see, initially it is all Bhoktaram, Yajna, Tapasam and all those things. And Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, this all looks like Saguna, Ishvara and all those things. Right? And he also says Sarva Bhutanam, Sarva Prananam, Pratyupakara Nirapeksha Upakarinam. He is sitting and he is helping everybody. Sarva Bhutanam Hridayeshayam. He is sitting in the hearts of everybody. Sarva Karma Paladhyaksham. So he watches. He doesn't get involved in Karma Pala and all those things. He is watching. He is a manager. Sarva Pratyaya Sakshinam. All experience. He is only the witness. So the Narayana is a witness here. So secretly, it starts with all creation, preservation and all, but he is not different from the Sakshi witness. And he is Jnatva Shantim Samsara Uparatim. What does Samsara Uparatim mean? He will finally, all this universe experience will dissolve. And that is the goal. And Narayanam Jnatva here is, first he is Ishvara. And knowing Ishvara as also just a witness. Sarva Pratyaya Sakshinam. Look at how it gets combined. The Nirgunatva sort of comes here as Sarva Pratyaya Sakshinam. He doesn't explicitly mention Nirguna here, that's all.
Yes, this Samyak Darshana is the one actually which will give which is the way for the Nirguna.
True, exactly. Because oneness, in Samyak Darshana, we already talked about it in our previous class. 2 or 3 points are there, right? And the final point there is oneness of everything. The one Atma in everything. And that realization is Samyak Darshana, the right realization. Okay? Alright, let us do one thing. Let us come back to this next week. Hope this was useful
clarity,
and we are all now
understanding.
thinking like in Shankara Bhashya.
Hello, can I tell one thing?
Sure.
Whatever is said, however we study, however perfectly we study all the acharyas, unless and until it is we realize it, that will not end. Understanding of anything and everything doesn't.
Yes.
They are not end in itself. It is a way for our practice, our practical knowledge.
Yes, true.
It's only a starting, but only 100% really the understanding you get only from realization.
True.
That we have to start with, and when we start that, by and by we will understand everything.
True.
So I have an addition to this, what she said. Once we are realized, and it doesn't matter whether we are Advaita view or Ramanuja view or Madhva view, because in that state, it doesn't make a difference to us because we are already realized.
True, it does not make any difference in that state.
But all the acharyas need to only one thing, realization, the same thing. They talk in different ways. Expression of using words according to the stages of time, whatever is available for them, they have explained. But they have explained what is 100% knowable.
Yes. True. Okay.
Thank
Let
you.
us stop here. Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Parama Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Sarva Gurubhyo Namaha, Shri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha, Shri Lakshmi Narasimha Parabrahmane Namaha, Shri Lakshmi Hayavadana Parabrahmane Namaha, Sarvam Shri Krishna Namaste.
Namaskaram.
Namaskar.
Karam.